I see that you're watching this video, which means the world hasn't ended. Or if it has, then I applaud you for watching this video anyway. So, in this episode of Gamer Report, another video game studio has declared bankruptcy. What's new? What's better than having a holiday party? Having a holiday party with naked people. Having a bad day? Well, then you might as well rage about the War Z like everyone else on the internet. All that and more coming up. Good day, fellow YouTubians! This is funnyeehn back with another episode of Gamer Report, your weekly lowdown of how to survive the end of the world.
Tip number 1, find a weapon.
Well, I could use those samurai swords up there, or I could use this giant pen.
Yes, the giant pen will do just fine.
And of course, I meant the weekly lowdown of gaming news. By the way, if you guys haven't noticed, I am no longer at my dorm, and I am now at home. And I will be doing my Gamer Report from here for the next probably 4 or 5 weeks. So that's why you have a change of location. So this is my actual old room. So anyway, it seems like we are all still alive, which is a good thing. You know, I think that this whole end of the world thing was just a giant Mayan troll. The conversation that started this whole thing probably went something like this.
Hey man, that sacrifice yesterday was off the hook! Literally!
Yeah, I guess so. Well, what are we gonna do now?
Alright, so check this idea out. What if we made an extremely detailed and complex calendar that predicted the end of the world?
Yeah, that seems pretty fun. Let's do it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how it went down. Anyway, let's move on to what's happening in the gaming world. First off, this past Wednesday night, THQ, the maker of games such as Company of Heroes, Saints Row, and others, filed for bankruptcy. But don't worry, because none of the THQ offices or studios are closing. What THQ has done is that it has handed all of its assets, i.e. studios and US operations, to an investment firm, meaning that THQ is publicly on the market.
Tip number 2. In order for one to survive the apocalypse, one must rid themselves of all unnecessary possessions.
I'm keeping this pen, and it is possible that Ubisoft may be interested in making a deal. Sources say that Ubisoft is currently in discussion with the firm, but we'll see what happens. As long as Metro Last Light and Company of Heroes 2 comes out, I'll be a happy Mayan. I mean, a happy person.
Tip number 3. Bring food and water.
Food and water, you say. Okay. Looks like there's actually a half-eaten donut over there, so that should take care of food. And for water... Oh, looks like there's a half-drinking bottle of 5-Hour Energy. Looks like I'm set. So it's nice to go to a party every once in a while, whether it's a birthday party or a holiday party. Speaking of holiday parties, apparently there was a pretty crazy one at Gameloft's studio in Montreal. What was supposed to be a burlesque circus show as part of the evening's entertainment got a little, quote, out of hand. Meaning there were some performers that went topless and tried to dance with employees.
Tip number 4. One should always have an opposite-sex partner so as to repopulate the earth.
Yeah, so the whole naked dancing thing made a few employees feel awkward. But according to Gameloft's representative, the contract stated that the performers were supposed to keep their bathing suits on. Obviously, that didn't work out. So, for the performers that did get carried away, well, they were expelled from the event.
Tip number 5. Having a burlesque show following you at all times will increase your survival chances.
What? That doesn't make any sense. How would a bunch of women and...
Shh! I'm the tip giver, not you.
So, in response to the tragic school shooting in Sandy Hook, Connecticut, that left 20 children and 6 adults dead, well, politicians have found their scapegoat. Yep, Wayne LaPierre, the National Rifle Association's vice president, made a speech that blamed not only violent movies, but also violent video games for the massacre. And LaPierre wasn't the only one to get in on this. Democratic West Virginian Senator Jay Rockefeller recently introduced a bill to Congress that would task the National Academy of Sciences to research the effects of violent video games on children. In addition, Senator Joe Manchin said, quote, "Look at Grand Theft Auto put out by Rockstar Games in New York City and what it promotes. Shouldn't that be looked into and maybe banned?" You know, people have blamed the world's problems on every kind of media. The news, music, TV shows, movies, and of course, video games. Now, I won't go as far as to say that media has no effect on us, But I don't believe that, say, if a killer was to play a violent video game such as Grand Theft Auto, that would just show that violent video games create murderers. I mean, otherwise there would be murderers everywhere. Besides, people are influenced by so many factors. So for someone to say or place all of the blame on one piece of media seems laughable to me.
Tip number 6. Blame everyone but yourself for the world's problems.
Well, if there is some blame on your end, it seems like you should
Shh, quiet now.
And finally, there's the whole Steam controversy with the War Z. So pretty much every other person and their mother is ranting about the War Z right now. To start off, the War Z had been put on Steam earlier this week, and then soon after was taken down, because players were complaining that the game was falsely advertised as a finished product.
Tip number 7. Never trust anybody.
So as of now, the War Z has not implemented the features that have been promised, such as leveling, larger maps, more players, and so forth. In addition, the 2 other complaints that people are making are A, it is a money-making scheme that copies the DayZ Arma 2 mod, and B, that the developers have been making bad game decisions and that they have been censoring complaints about the game. All in all, I understand that the game isn't done, but until then, I can deal with all the bugs and the missing features.
Tip number 8. Kill people you don't trust.
And finally, don't forget about the Steam Winter Sale. Go check it out and give them all your money. I know that I will. Alright everyone, well that wraps up this week's episode of Gamer Report. If you enjoyed this episode, or if you thought that Dr. Apocalypse's tips were helpful, please hit that like button, comment, and subscribe for more content. And until next time, this is funnyeehn, signing out.
I'm sorry, Weston, but you are a liability and must be exterminated.
What? But... No! I think he's sleeping.